Guys, this is Weinman, I think. Let's see, today's date is Saturday, June 10, 2017. What we're going to be doing here is talking about something very I'm just going to wait till we read this here. This on the front here says time spent on education is its own reward. Your time spent has been your investment into your future's financial security. Our Lord shows our daily limitations are from our failure in persistence with faith. Now, you lawyers out there, you all know what this means. You all took the bar, foreign agents of the crown. I know there's good lawyers out there. I know some of you. But guys, in every court case, they're committing federal treason on you because they took the bar and the bar came from British accredited registry. These are Britain's laws. This is Britain trespass. All bar members are foreign agents of the crown. In 1871, two guys came from England, created two corporations. The first corporation is called the B.A.R. The B.A.R stands for British Accredited Registry. The second corporation is called the USC. Stands for United States Corporation. Since then on, 50 states became a corporation. You're going to see why most of the people that are in jails are not supposed to be there. They're doing this because they're getting $350 a day per bunk. They're committing federal treason. They're not following due process. You can Google administrative courts illegal after 81 years. They've been doing it for 81 years and illegal. Guys, lawyers are part of the game. They took the bar, they know this. This isn't the Constitution. This is supposed to be of commerce and contracts, but they've stepped into the world and bled it right to you. A lot of you are sitting in jail and not supposed to be there. Let's look at this first statement. There is no legislative act of law that gave lawyers congressional authority to talk into courtrooms with any authority. Lawyers are saying in August 28, 1878 is when they were given authority to talk into the courtrooms using the Act of July 13, 1866, Section 9, Statute 14-121. Statute is a generic term, but that number is not of the Constitution. Therefore, that's a fraudulent statement right there. So you Google the statute name, and what you're going to find, it's a generic term. It can fit in any situation. But when you see the numbers behind it, and it's not of the Constitution, it will have to say the Constitution, but it does not. It says statute. So, guys, Black's Law, up to version 5 I've heard, or actually version 6, is there's anything past that is garbage. They've been twisting things around. Now, here is the definition of statute right here. All of this. Okay, that's Black's Law. Version 5. That's what you got there. That's what's in Black's Law, version 5. Remember, there are two governments running that have been running. Number one for the Constitution, that's for the people only. And then the second one is commerce. They cannot mix. That's oil and water. One is for commerce, and that's what statutes are for commerce. The Constitution is its own sovereign document. The Constitution was created by men that were of God, that's in heaven, just like the Bible. And the Ten Commandments is not the same as the Constitution. That's absolutely absurd. All you got to do is read both of them, and they're saying the same thing. Constitution and the Ten Commandments are the same thing. But yet these guys that want to create law, because there's so much money in it, and people are getting $350 a day per bunk, why do you think they want to privatize jails? Most of the people that are in jails, and I'm going to say 80% area, are not supposed to be there because they're not following due process, number one. They're not standing up for the Constitution, number two. And every one of everybody that are in there are contracting with the administrative courts, the courts of the administrative court is from commerce. That's the administrative courts, only for commerce, not the Constitution. And when they pull you over and you hand out your driver's license, you are contracting with them. Anything you do into the jails, the courts, if you verbally say yes, you've contracted. If you take their paper, you've contracted. If you give them your driver's license, the driver's license is of commerce. The tag on your car, the sticker on there, you can look and find people shutting down the tags, scraping off the sticker. All of this is commerce, and they have to get you to contract. That's why most of them are in there, most of the people are in there, because they don't know about this. Federal treason is what's being committed on the backs of the American people. And the lawyers, and I'm not talking about the good lawyers out there that really try, that there's only very few of those. Most took the bar know exactly what I'm talking about. You're committing federal treason on the backs of the American people. You get a Title 42, Title 18 in your personal capacity. Oh, it doesn't stop there. It gets better. There's no such law with congressional authority. So since a corporation and its unelected board of directors is not Congress, how did they make constitutional law? They did not and cannot. They made corporate policy and code only. They lied and deceived us. The Act of July 13th, 1866, Chapter 9, Statute 14, 121, meaning the statute administered the constitutional fix. Hello? Aren't you? This right here jumps out right at me big time. Statute. They put that word in there, which is kind of a generic term. You go back to the definition, but yet this number right here has absolutely zero anywhere in the Constitution. I don't see it anywhere in the Constitution. See what they're doing there? They put a generic term in there, but then they put the wrong numbers, which technically, now if you go look up statute, oh, it'll be right there for the corporation. Article 6, second paragraph, is the Constitution, supreme law of the land. And now they have, in 1933, they have taken and got rid of statutes and turned them into the one world government, the Vatican created the United Nations, and there's United Nation trucks all over this country parked and sitting and waiting to take your cars because you contracted with the state, which is a piece of paper. With it says state of Florida is a piece of paper. There's nothing real. The state of Florida versus Joe Blow. Well, that's what the judges like to tell you, and they hand you a piece of paper. So number one, they lied to you and defrauded you and told you the state has charges for you, and that's just as fraud as you can get. The state is a piece of paper with words on it, just like any corporation, just like any business you create. You put the name on a piece of paper so you can do banking in that name. So when they hand you this, that's a contract. You've accepted their papers. When you pay money to their administrative court, you pay money. You've just contracted. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuant thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary, notwithstanding. Guys, they took out the original 13th Amendment so they can bring the lawyers in. And I'll show you that in a second. I hope you're seeing this. This isn't our Constitution that they've been dealing with. And they're making $350 a day per bunk. Why do you think they want to privatize the jails? They're making $350 a day. That's why they're raking people away for the weekend to get everybody starting to get drunk and make mistakes and blah, blah, blah. But here's a big issue. The cops have been putting you in jail. They pick you up. Constitution states someone has to bring claim against you. And if you're doing something bad against the Constitution, like when they pull you over and you hand in your driver's license, that gives them the right to talk to you. So why'd they pull you over in the first place? The Constitution says they can't pull you over unless they suspect you of committing a felony. You've got RICO going on here, guys. The Pope is the head kingpin of the whole thing, the Vatican. The Bibles were locked up. Now, here's the thing about the Bible. I've always had very big questions about it. Why are those guys in there? So 2 Peter, verse 20, 120, just clarified what was going on there, why those guys are in there. Because we weren't listening to them, we were listening to the Holy Spirit. That's what 2 Peter 1:20 specifically states. Now, The Wizard of Oz was a kiddie movie, so we thought. But the writers of that movie were trying to tell people what was going on. I had to rewrite it, from what I understand, 8, 9 times. And in result, who's the man behind the curtain? Well, if the Pope is the head kingpin, makes sense to me. God stated, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Kind of fits, don't it? On top of that, those guards that they have at the Vatican are dressed exactly the way that the Wizard of Oz guards were, in the same type of uniform. Now, this is racketeering, guys. This is RICO. The Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, the Pope, the head kingpin, the Pope. He writes laws, and all you got to do is look at his website, Vatican website. He destroyed all corporations. How could he do that if he's of God? He can't. So he's a man behind the curtain. He is the Antichrist. He is I forgot one. Guys, this is all started in 1871 with Britain trespass. So they can, because they called in a note to the United States of America, we could not pay. End result. There you go. Here's the original 13th, Article 13. I always want to call it 13th Amendment. It's not an amendment, it's article. But why I keep doing it, I have no idea. And what it states is, if any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall without the consent of Congress accept and retain any pension, present pension, office, or emolument of any kind, whatever, from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such as England, calling in their note, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them. Now, guys, this is what they took out of the original Constitution, so they could bring the lawyers in. Oh yeah, that was Britain that did all this. And who's tied to the Britain? The Pope. He's all controls all of this stuff, guys. And there's original document. Somebody scanned it in. Somebody got it, scanned it in. There it is. You can read this for yourself. It's the same exact letters. I wrote that red up there. But it is word for word. Comma for comma. Don't take my word for it. Prove me wrong. The United States means a federal corporation. There's statutes right there. USC stands for U.S. Code. Has nothing to do with the people. The people, it's Constitution only. And the other statute, 18 USC, subsection 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Under color of law is not law. Fraud has zero expiration date, guys. Zero. There's no such thing as corporate law. A corporation cannot create law because a corporation is only a fictitious entity, a piece of paper with words on it, created by the Vatican's employees, making it policy and code. We elected Congress to do that job, so why are they? Why is the Pope doing this? Why is the Vatican doing the employees of the Vatican? It was created by its unelected board of directors through our ignorance. And it's not the judicial of Congress that we the people elected and put in office. Only Congress, flesh and blood people we elect, can create law. And that's of the Constitution, not state statutes. A statute is a general term. Look it up. But I gave you Black's Law already up there. I copied and pasted out of Black's Law, 5th edition. They've taken out Black's Law, and they started manipulating around 6, version 6. Now all of this goes down. Look where the cursor is up here. Okay, this explains a lot. I'm not going to read this. I'm just kind of scan it to you, and then I'm going to just go back up. But what I want to show you before that is I'm going to pull it all the way down here. And I want to show you this. There's definitions of what they've been doing. Okay? You have organized crime here, guys. No, sorry. You have organized crime. Definitions are all from Black's Law. They're all copied and pasted. You see the suggerus? Everything else underneath suggerus. It shows you what its meaning is. That's the definitions. Everything's copied and pasted from Black's Law, guys. I would highlight something or make it bigger or something like that, but copied and pasted. Period. Prove me wrong. Take my word for nothing. But that's suggerus is what you put on the end of your full name on your court records. This tells you it's your right to be your own attorney. You don't need an attorney. But I will tell you this. These public servants that are supposed to be working for us are working for the corporation, and they literally take your case numbers like they have done mine. They don't like my affidavit on the court record. They're running from it. The end result, because I'm fighting back. Let's look at some of the stuff here. You got federal fraud, legal abuses. You've got perjury, tort, conspiracy, extortion, treason, collusion, human trafficking, kidnapping. Well, those guys are in jail because the legal system's not following due process. That's kidnapping. When police pull you off the street without due process, that's kidnapping. Guys, all the definitions that you see here, every one that you see up there right there, is down underneath here. Conspiracy, extortion, treason. Now, treason is just very simple. You're going to like reading that. Technically, it's the same as this. Color of law. Title 18, subsection 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. This is what the lawyers are doing, guys. So now you get to Title 42 them, Title 18 them in their personal capacity. Title 42 is your mental rights. Title 18 is your rights against the Constitution. If a judge takes you from your constitutional law, he's just committed a federal crime. Fraud has 0 expiration date. There's human trafficking, there's kidnapping, all this from Black's Law. Perjury. I said to the judge the other day, about a month and a half ago, I said, is that your true name? And I put out the name. And he said, yep, that's my true name. Okay, so then under penalties and perjury, what is your jurisdiction? Oh, I don't have to tell you that. She just screwed up right there. Guys, this is what they're doing. It's all RICO. All corporate judges, lawyers, and of the British accredited registry, the B.A.R, now they are committing this Britain trespass from 1871 because Britain called in her note to the United States of America and we couldn't pay. By way of Esquire identity. Passed on, 1970, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, is a federal law designed to combat organized crime in the United States. Oh, but let's see who created this, which would be the Vatican. Oh, so yet they know they have a problem, so therefore they create a law for us to do to, keep everybody calm down, and they advertise it, but yet they're the ones that are actually creating the problem. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Article 6, second paragraph. They can make no law outside the Constitution or it has no standing. You gotta read RICO, guys, because that's exactly what this is, and you are not their corporate fiction. All of this is in a pretend world, just like kids play in pretend. You play doctor, you play lawyer, you play whatever your fantasy is about who you want to be when you grow up. These 6 psychopaths are doing it for real, and they hold people in jail pretty much their whole life. And we're not, let's get this clear, we are not talking about the true bad guys. We're talking about their corporate organized crime. Period. Now, I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to do the 5-second rule. And guys, before I get started, I just want to make sure you see this at the top. Now I'm going to show you the bottom. Make sure you hit pause when I stop. Okay, now let's get started here. This is a long one, and when we get to that, you definitely want to read this. In the meantime, every time I move and I stop, that's going to be, I'm going to count 5 seconds, and then I'm going to move it to the next section. I'm going to do that all the way down. Now, I'm going now. Now, let's remember something here. The United States of America is not the same as the United States Corporation. So when you have been seeing all the presidents over the last 100 years take our oath, hold up their right hand, they're swearing in a new CEO to the United States Corporation as of 1871. There's a lot of dates going on, guys. These are general information. This will get you started. There's a repeat of Article 13. And the Vatican is the head kingpin to this whole thing. And the man behind the curtain and the Antichrist. They've all been worshiping Satan. And in the basement of the Vatican, there's a big giant demon down inside the basement. And remember something. When they have you in court, they are intimidating you to the point that they're making you believe that you can't do this on your own. That is absolutely false. Title 42, Title 18 in their personal capacity, you have to give them notice, at least one. And you're going to file papers on them. You're going to get used to filing your own papers. But the courts are committing more crimes and not allowing people to file. It's a fight. Everything's a fight now. This is what you're waking up to. But do not give up. You can do this. Can't do it. The UN is the United Nations. They are the one world government. And United Nations, we're a nation under God. And they have to get you to believe in their BS. And this is what the one world government is about. Pay attention, guys. They're trying to sell you on that they know better than we do. But yet they have to commit federal treason, RICO, in order to do these things. And then tell you there's spaceships out there. I've seen the spaceships, and they have jet engines in them. There's turbines in the back of them. No spaceman that I've ever heard of that has all that technology is going to need to put a jet engine in their spaceship. Their technology is a little different than ours. So these idiots that want us to believe that they conquer. I saw two fighter escorts, escorting a spaceship, a round saucer. What I also saw, it was flying, yes. There's a turbine in the back of it. It had a jet engine in it. That's how it was flying. That's a YouTube video somewhere. Google it. You should find it. On top of what you're reading right now, guys, the system that they set up for us to buy and sell a home, none of us have been bringing our land patent forward, and you have to do that because that's key. That's still in place. You have to bring your land patent forward. This is why code enforcement can come on your property and you can do nothing, because they know you didn't bring your land patent forward. This is not a joke, guys. This is everything they've been doing. This is racketeering from day one. And like the yellow one at the bottom says, guys, take my word for nothing. Google it. Prove me wrong. 2 Peter 1:20. You didn't hear those men's interpretation of the Bible. You heard the Holy Spirit speaking through them. Our bodies are just a vessel, a woman's vessel and a man's vessel for the Spirit. Here's the definitions again. Very close attention. And remember, these definitions are from Black's Law. Black's Law is the dictionary of choice. It is the constitutional dictionary. two key things when you're reading this kidnapping issue in human trafficking. The police have been picking up people on statutes, and they may change the so-called laws every day, constantly, thousands every year, because that's what generates business, money, into their coffers. CRIS, it's an acronym, CRIS, the think tank. These videos somebody else is going through, but if they're not, I don't put them up unless they're credible. And I have been through it. I've been through 41 judges, and ask me how many of them beat me. Not one. Why? Because they are the ones committing federal treason on the backs of the American people in the name of profit, organized crime, RICO. My dad was a federal agent for the railroad. I believe I know what I'm talking about. Take my word for nothing, prove me wrong. Remember, guys, get this information out and keep it going. This is our country. The F-15 Eagle fighter jet, they tried to keep that from existence so they can keep the wars going. The guy that designed it, the key guy, I have a video on that, you can look at it. They tried to prevent him from building the F-15. He was a fighter pilot. Why would they try to prevent him to do that? There's only one reason. Because they didn't want to be the superior, the elites that have been doing all of this. War was created to make money. And all of our vets that did all of this, they've been hoodwinked. The sheriff is the law because we elect the sheriff. We don't elect the police. The police are peace officers. But yet, they're not even following their oath of office for the Constitution, for the oath of office that they swore to uphold, protect the Constitution with. Can't even get it out, sorry. The eagle's our bird because if God is in all things, can you see God focused there? I believe he's a bit pissed, like the rest of us should be, and most of us are. They're taking our country, guys. Are we going to take it back?